Hey up lads and lasses, Damphyre here, back again with some more Infinite Lagrange. Today we are dealing with the last of the destroyers. It's the Winged Hussar. So the Winged Hussar is overall, it's a pretty good ship. You can get it quite easily early on because you get that box that you can buy in the earlier servers, which you can buy like 7 of them or something like that. And this is like a 50% chance of picking up a Winged Hussar from it. So it's actually pretty good. The anti-ship version is decent. Unfortunately, it does have this railgun system, which does seem to have pretty low accuracy overall. But thankfully, you have got the storm missile system, which can do quite well in like most situations. So yeah, it's pretty good. So my recommendation for this, again, I believe this is mid-row, so yeah, it is mid-row. So again, I'd recommend, like I do with all mid-row and front-row ships, is jumping into the armor first and picking up your ship HP first, just to keep it on the board a little bit longer and allow it to get its damage out. Now, after you've done that, my recommendation is actually putting points into the missile system over the railgun system. Yes, the railgun has a bigger alpha hit, but it's I just find it really inaccurate, and it doesn't seem to like do much. Like it struggles a lot hitting frigates, destroyers for certain, even with the hit rate bonuses and stuff. So my recommendation is actually going to be into the storm missile system here, which I believe is the higher DPM anyway. Yeah, it is. So you have the storm missile system here. My recommendations here would be to grab the hit rate bonus for certain. Against the frigates, destroyers. I would ignore the fighters, corvettes, because you don't particularly want this thing firing at fighters and corvettes, and it's going to prioritize frigates, destroyers regardless anyway. So hit rate against frigates, destroyers. I'd then take the double cooldown, and then you could take the extra hit rate after the double cooldown, or you can get that first, depending on how many tech points you've got. You might just want to just grab that one straight after the frigate destroyer one. The frigate destroyer one first is due to the fact that in the meta at the current moment, you are running against frigate destroyer fleets like most of the time, and you get a better hit rate from this over the one that just gives you a base hit rate against everything. So yeah, picking this up is going to give you like, I think it's about 15% increase, where if you pick up the standard one, you're only going to get 10%. Actually, even less, only 8% increased hit rate from the base one. So you can pick up both of those first and then go into the cooldown. I pick up the frigate destroyer one, go into the cooldown, then pick up the extra hit rate after that. That brings you up to 4, which leaves you 2 slots left. Again, you're kind of like in a situation here where there's nothing better to go for, because your other choices here are hit rates against fighters, corvettes, which it doesn't really do particularly well at anyway. It's got that terrible strategy, which is only active for 8 seconds. So it's, again, not what I'd recommend, and I would recommend in this instance picking up the double damage, bringing you up to a bit more damage. Again, the damage per hit's only 14, so it's only going to give you an extra 28 damage, but it's better than nothing in my opinion. You could potentially argue dropping one of the damage is quite good for the cooldown for the strategy, but again, it's a big tech point investment here for the strategy. So I'd still probably recommend the damage. Again, plus when you buff it another 30%, it's, stacking up the bonuses a bit. After that, I'd recommend going into the heavy cannon here, picking up the hit rate straight off the bat, double cooldown, and one of the damages. It's only got 4 slots. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Propulsion's at 700, so I would recommend picking up the cruise speed here. Both of these cruise speeds will bring it up to, well, at least into the position where it runs into the 850 fleets quite nicely. Leaves you 1 slot for warp speed. Again, this is quite a slow ship. Considering it's all pointy and sporty looking, it is pretty slow. Now we move on to the integrated type. I flat out prefer this one after trialing it a little bit more over the anti-ship type, mostly due to the fact that it gets rid of that cannon system at the front, and you get a quad torpedo launcher. The torpedoes just have a better hit rate in general. It's got the one system instead of the two, so you're not spreading quite as much away on the mods. It's all just getting bonus quite literally off the bat. And you get an extra slot on here as well, which is quite nice. Again, as previously with the missile systems, picking up the frigate hit rate, picking up double cooldown, then picking up the increase all missile hit rate here. You can then pick up the double damage, and then finishing that off with the chance to cause crit damage. And that's quite a nice little setup, again, ignoring the hit rate against fighters, corvettes. You can drop either one of the damages or the crit chance and damage for the strategy, but again, I wouldn't recommend that personally. Yeah, you're not going to get much from the damages off the torpedoes, but you're going to get the same amount off the missile system. So yeah, it's quite a nice little upgrade. Because of it being all missiles and torps as well, that priority is just going to help it out quite nicely. So you have your small ships, is going to hit destroyers, frigates, and then it's going to hit destroyers, frigates as well. This thing can absolutely annihilate Xenos in the rear, which is really nice, regardless of what's in front, because again, indirect fire, and all weapons are in direct fire here. So yeah, really good little ship. Again, you are back row here, so you get a bit more chance to ignore the armor system. So this is where I'd go into the armor system second, and I'd be picking up the double HP and one of the armors before jumping into the propulsion system. So you can go straight off the bat, straight into the weapon system on this thing. It is supposedly less DPM than the anti-ship type, but within testing every single time, the integrator type has flat out damaged the anti-ship type. Probably just due to the fact that it's in direct fire, and the cannon system on this anti-ship type just seems so damn inaccurate. It's incredible. Now, the anti-aircraft type, just don't run this. It doesn't work as people think, and I mean, I've said this in multiple videos now. This thing increases hit rate against fighters and corvettes and stuff like that. Fantastic. You know, when your fleet includes fire, increases hit rate against enemy fighters by 30%. This does not buff your fighters at all. It buffs this ship, which is fine, right? You'd think it'd be completely fine, but it's got nothing shooting at ships, at fighters. It's got the Storm anti-missile system, which prioritizes small ships. You're going to be shooting destroyers and frigates, and pretty much nothing else. Yeah, it doesn't work. We've tested it recently, and yeah, they did next to no anti-aircraft damage. We tested this against a fleet that had 86 aircraft in it. This did no anti-aircraft at all. And the situational awareness system, again, didn't buff anything. Just ignore the anti-aircraft type. Don't pick it up. Go for the tech points if you have a chance at this. Unless you're a collector, I guess, then pick it up. But yeah, this does not buff your fleet, your aircraft in your fleet at all. They just ignore it. So that is the Winged Hussar. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.